Welcome to another edition of Plug In with Avi and Kyle, your internet's odd couple who just happen to be your best source for everything that is anything. Avi. 05.
The big 5-0.
The big 05.
The 05.
Kindergarten status. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we made it this far.
Why is that?
Well, because, we've been sitting here for half an hour just trying to get one thing right.
Well, technical difficulties.
Always. As Don Belarjan says,
Yeah.
It's not a perfect science yet.
Nope.
No. So today's guest, Avi, will be dun 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 Cris August, owner and operator of Orange County Ghosts and Legends Tour.
Where's your sound effect?
We don't have an input for it.
Oh.
We're waiting on new inputs to come in.
All right. Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. We'll put it in post.
Today
Yeah.
it was the perfect time.
So if you aren't a believer in ghosts by the end of the show, you'll be a believer. And you probably won't want to sleep with the lights off either. And then after Cris, later on in the show, we're going to have Erwin Goldstein, a rep for ICANN Corp, the people who not only do we use all their lights in our studio, but are also the sponsors of our You Can Fly fan contest, where we're giving away a 3-axis gimbal that works with a smartphone or a GoPro.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, as Kyle said, welcome back. And as he mentioned earlier, this is our 5th show, and hopefully many more to come. And our show today, it's jam-packed. And not only with the guests, only with the products and the demo we're going to show you on the gimbal. So from here we go and on to the show.
All right, well, let's get started. Our first guest is Cris August. He's the owner and operator of Orange County Ghosts and Legends Tours. And he's also a paranormal investigator. And I believe, I heard, and we'll ask him in a second, I believe he also is a singer. And they run, so Ghosts and Legends Tour runs a year-round ghost tours in Orange County, San Diego, and Arizona. Ghosts just don't come out on Halloween, apparently.
Yes.
So welcome to the show, Cris.
Let's find out.
Fellas, how you doing?
Yes,
doing
Cris.
all right. So was I correct? Did I hear you also are a musician?
I am. I'm a
sing?
vocalist.
Vocalist?
Yes.
What kind of music?
Mainly pop, soft rock, adult contemporary. So
Covers or your own stuff?
I do original stuff and covers. I do it all. So
you are a man of many talents.
I am very random.
So,
one question: where is your place? Where can you find you in Orange County?
As far as
located, the tours.
Tours? Well, we do several tours, actually. We currently are running tours in Black Star Canyon, Silverado, Santiago Canyon.
Okay.
Also San Juan Capistrano, Los Rios Street, the oldest occupied neighborhood in California.
Uh-huh.
We also do more public investigations down in San Diego at the Star of India. And the B-39 sub we're going to start looking into as well. So we've got a lot of things going on down in San Diego. And also we do periodic visits to the Grand Canyon Caverns in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
And hoping to expand more in that area as well in the future. So.
Well, my understanding with ghosts and haunted houses, it's these old, creepy places. California is, fairly new. I mean, I understand on the East Coast, in Boston or New York, they said, or Long Island. Where in California do you have building?
People die every day, Avi.
But
people die every day.
The people died, but
valid,
I thought the ghosts hide in the creepy places, like old buildings.
Well, I think when somebody's died in a place, that's pretty creepy after that.
But it needs so many years to come back, or if they come back right away.
Yeah, let's get into this.
There's dead people everywhere, no matter where you go. So.
Yes.
So there could be dead people in our studio.
There could be. We don't even know it. You
Avi?
could have a couple standing around you right now.
That's not
Well,
cool.
I keep hearing noises upstairs.
Yeah.
But that's the tenant upstairs.
Yeah.
Probably some evil children up there.
So when did you first realize that ghosts and spirits are real?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know, and there isn't any scientific proof that they are real. But that's kind of the thrill of this. We investigate, we collect data, and we're trying to catch some solid evidence to at least validate to some extent that, spirits and ghosts do exist. But a lot of this is based on personal experience. And when I say personal experience, that means, for example, if you felt something touch you on the arm, and you know what you felt, you know what you experienced, but that didn't happen to me. It didn't happen to Avi. It just happened to you. That's your experience, and I can't tell you that didn't happen because it was just.
Are you like a ghost hunter? I know they have some people that go with measurements and cameras.
Yeah, you could. That's pretty much what we do, and we're not running tours with the public. We'll investigate locations and collect data, whether it's via audio or video formats, using other equipment, EMF as well. But audio and video tends to provide the most compelling evidence on top of the fact that it's recorded. So
Get out.
7 days. Yeah.
Wow.
So have you ever been able to chase a harmful or a ghost or a spirit that the people that living in the house they wanted out? And what do you do? Is that something you do as well?
Well, that's the thing, and that's where it gets tricky, is we can't claim to rid anything that we don't even know actually.
They're not the
exists.
Catholic Church.
We're not the church. And,
Exorcism.
Exactly, and we had to be careful with that. But at the very least, we'll go in and we'll try to educate people based on what we know and based on our opinions about things. At least to educate people to not be so scared. To just if there is something in their house, to just let it be, and you either choose to live with it and get along, or. Yeah, I guess you can move. But
Well, what about what if the entity goes with them? I've seen all those movies. The Conjuring, and is that
that's
a legitimate?
It
fear?
is believed that spirits can be attached to individuals or even the land property. It's believed that spirits can attach to people. So you gotta be careful with who you're messing with. But some people just kind of have a mentality where they choose not to pay attention to it, and whatever's happening is happening, and they just don't acknowledge it. And some people get by that way.
I had a friend of mine that he swore that his house is haunted because he kept hearing noise in one particular part of the house and scratchy noise, specifically late at night. And I told him, instead of calling a ghost hunter, call the exterminator. And guess what? It was a little mouse in the wall running up and down trying to get out.
So, Chris, what made you decide what made you start a ghost tour business? Well, you say you don't do tours yet, but what made you get into this paranormal investigations?
Well, we do tours.
Okay.
But we absolutely do. That's the business side.
Yeah. But you don't take people on investigations, right?
Well, we do.
Okay.
There's, I guess the best way to say it is that we have tours, which is, you go to a location and I'll tell people a story and tell them, the difference of it, the things that have happened there. Scary things that we've experienced on tours, or when we've just been collecting data and doing a private investigation. But something like the Star of India in San Diego, we're on a lockdown on a ship where we're not exactly telling stories there. It's more now everybody's involved in an interactive investigation. We encourage you to bring your audio recorders, bring cameras. Let's all collectively see what we can capture, if anything. And that's key, though. On these tours, I tell people I can't guarantee you that we will see or experience anything.
It's like we're going out on the
whale watching. Exactly.
I got it.
That is the best comparison. You either see it or you don't. I don't have a switch. I wish I did.
Yeah.
But if something wants to interact, it will. But at the very least, I tell people, let's just have a good time. And if we catch something, wonderful. If we don't.
Have you ever videotaped or taped somebody or took picture of a ghost running by or a spirit?
We have photos, not so much on tours, but we're able to run our equipment for longer periods of time when we're actually doing an investigation. On tours, we're kind of continuously moving. Although we encourage people to take their own photos, just to snap as you go. You don't have to hold a pose or anything. Just snap, 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 snap. And you never know what comes up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, most of the time, it's going to be trash. You just never look
I
at it.
have a question that it's been bothering the hell out of me forever.
Okay.
Why always it have to be at night? How come they don't come in the daytime in a desolate place or whatever?
Well, that's not true.
Okay.
Ghosts don't discriminate
Boom,
between.
Maybe I'm watching too many movies.
Boom, Avi.
Ghosts don't discriminate between night and day. It's obviously more creepy at night.
Okay.
Our senses are heightened at night.
Okay.
Sight and smell and
Absolutely.
and
And
hearing.
we can't see much.
It's just like in the woods. If you're walking through the woods during the day, everything's cool. But at night, one twig snap, you feel like you can hear it for 10 miles.
Exactly, and that's kind of like a perfect example of Black Star Canyon. Other than the obvious, the ambiance changes between night and day. Obviously, it's dark. But the whole energy of the place completely changes, and you are just on pins and needles out there because that little rustle in the bush, you probably wouldn't pay any attention to that in the daytime. It's a bird. You're not thinking anything of it. But when you can't see, and your sight is very limited.
So it makes it more real.
Yeah.
It's
like a never-ending roller coaster.
It's very different.
That's awesome.
Very
Do
different.
you guys go out and visit cemeteries to see if any of the spirits walking around, or that's only in the movies?
We're obviously respectful of cemeteries.
Yeah, okay.
We don't go stomping around in cemeteries and
No, I mean just
You know what?
standing outside.
Believe it or not, I mean, I've watched these other shows where they have, I mean, there's a ton of different shows on every channel has one where they're doing ghost investigations. And believe it or not, the one thing that makes me turn these shows off is if people aren't respectful of, I mean, because regardless of what you're doing, whether there's a ghost or not, something has happened there. Somebody's died there, and you have to be respectful of that
I understand.
memory.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's good to hear that, you're not just stomping through.
Right. Yeah. Respect is always key. And I think with a respectful approach and the way you approach these things is going to determine the kind of response that
Well, I
you
mean,
back.
I'm not going to mention names, but there's a show where they just yell at the ghost. Go out, ghost!
Yeah. Yes.
So, I just turned that off immediately.
Did you receive any calls from Orange County residents?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We do. And believe it or not, when we get calls from, private homes, people who are claiming to hear weird things that go bump in the night, usually before we pack up and go investigate these homes, I'll tell them, I want you to log everything you're experiencing. I want you to keep a track, look for a pattern, and we'll reassess it and let me know what's happening. But most of the time these things can be explained.
Have you ever found any of those ghosts in commercial buildings?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Where I'll say this: just look at where the San Juan Cemetery is.
Okay.
I mean, it's a whole not industrial; it's a business complex.
Yeah.
So
my
that's been
goodness.
built.
Now I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Well, what is the scariest? We only have about a minute and a half left. So, what is the scariest moment you've had?
There's been a lot, but I don't see a lot of things. But the few times I've actually seen a full-bodied apparition of something you can actually make out a detail, facial features.
What?
That'll leave you up for a couple
the
nights.
hell out of me.
I don't want to even
It's
be
not
in this
going
room
off
with this
today.
guy anymore. Oh my God. My heart's
I don't see it
racing.
often.
Yeah.
But it's happening.
Well, Chris, this is the time now to plug where we can find you and how the people can.
Yeah. So again, we've had Chris August
Yeah.
with us on the show. Chris, why don't you go ahead and tell everyone where they can reach you?
You can reach us. Just plug in Orange County Ghosts and Legends Tours on Google. I won't even save the URL; it's too long. Find us on Facebook, Orange County Ghosts and Legends Tours. We run year round, So as he said
So
before,
it's not only for Halloween. Do your business increase during Halloween? Do you have,
it's safe to say it does. People think ghosts only come on Halloween,
Yeah.
but we're there year round. So come and
You
check
know
us
what?
out.
I heard yesterday, shelters will not allow a black cat to be adopted during Halloween.
I heard that.
Because of what they will do to the animals.
Oh my goodness. Well, Chris, we hope to have you back on the show again because I got to
Yeah.
get more information
I'd love
on
to.
this.
I'd love to.
This has been Plug In with Avi and Kyle, and we'll see you after the commercial break.